So our topic today, as you can remember from our thing, is debt psychology. So what is the link between debt and mental health? That is the next thing we want to talk about. What is the link? Now, there is two links, as a matter of fact. The first one is the impact of debt itself on our mental health. Remember, we are doing debt psychology, right? The impact of debt, the impact of having a huge debt on your mental health. And then there's another one, which is the impact of mental health on your acquisition of debt, making you more debt because you have some mental health issues. But for start, let's start with the impact of debt on your mental health. How can debt affect your mental health? The first one is debt or huge debt, credit card and other debt can bring you stress and anxiety. You want to explain that a little bit?
Stress and anxiety. So if you know that you are so much in debt, and I think the stress and the anxiety will kick in if you lose your job, because you're living paycheck to paycheck. And because you're living paycheck to paycheck and maybe you are fired, the stress that will come on you will be so huge. And the anxiety that, oh my God, I'm going to lose my house. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my car. Oh my God, I'm going to be homeless. That thing is so much on you that it will make you very stressful and it will make you very anxious. So the impact of debt on your mental health is huge.
It's huge.
It can cause you to be very stressed. And we know stress can lead to a lot of health conditions, health situations. Some people even have stroke
Yes.
right away because of the stress level. The intensity of the stress is so much. So you don't want to get yourself in that situation that you are so stressful in life. Everything annoys you. And everything, it can lead to panic attack
Yes.
when you are that anxious. So stress and anxiety is really real if you are so much in debt.
Definitely. And we don't want to end up in that way. Stress, I mean, you were even saying that in case you lose your job, some people, even without losing the job, they are stressed about how much they have. They cannot imagine how their pay can help them, to basically pay off all the debt that you already have. And it doesn't matter how big the debt, depends on your coping level. Some people, small debt will make them anxious big time. Some people too, they will be owning $2 million and
They're fine.
it doesn't move them. They don't care. I mean, it's debt, If I'm here, I'm going to pay it. And then, but everybody is different. Some people cannot stand it. And if you are the person that cannot stand it, these are some of the things you can do.
Sometimes to the debt collectors.
The debt collectors
They
can
will
stress
call
you out
you
more.
and call you and hit your credit report. All that is going through your head because you're not able to pay your debt on time. And they'll keep calling you. If you see anything, any strange call, you're not picking up.
Yeah. And that means that if it comes to the point where debt collectors are calling you, that definitely means that you are in trouble. That is where you really need help. And definitely, we are going to stay to the end of the show. We're going to show you how to deal with some of the troubles that you face with debt. But definitely stress and anxiety for that. The other thing is poor sleep. If you are in debt, you may not get a good night's sleep. Oh my goodness, that is sad. Yeah, and it is real. It is real. It's not like an ambiguous thing we are talking about. Debt can make you have poor sleep because you'll be going to bed thinking about it and you cannot sleep. So financial stress, including debt, can also impact an individual's ability to sleep, leading to insomnia, and also other sleep disturbances. So I don't know if you have sleep disturbance because you are in debt. This may be something we were talking about. But if not, we just don't want you to continue to be in any situation that can lead to that. I don't know if you want to add anything to it.
Let's go.
All right. So in that case, we will move to the next one. And the next one is depression. Debt can also lead to depression. So this is how debt is affecting your mental health. The credit card debt, bank debt, mortgage debt, car debt, if you are not managing it properly, it can also lead to depression. And this is one of the examples we said that some people have taken their lives because they didn't see any way out of the debt. Especially people who were making millions, and all of a sudden they are losing everything
Everything.
because the Joneses,
They are keeping up.
because they are trying to keep up with the Joneses. They rather die rather than to have their neighbors or their Joneses around them see that they are in debt. Who are you competing with? Let them see you go destitute and talk to yourself that you're going to rise back again. That is when you are saying that, yes, you are a man or you're a woman. But taking your life because of debt is not good. And again, if you are living in the sight of people, trying to please people, that is when it gets to the place where we call serious depression. You will feel trapped. You feel like there's no way out of the situation, but there is always a way out.
There is always a way.
There is a way. Where there is a will, there is
a
what?
way.
Oh goodness. So never take your life because of debt. I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
add
the
it.
feeling of hopelessness. You just don't have even the edge to wake up in the morning. You are so down. That's when you have to start seeking help, because if you start feeling that way because of your debts, then it may lead to something that you may not like. So the feeling of hopelessness,
Hopeless.
you feel so helpless and hopeless that you have to do something about.
All right. Now, what is the link? Now, we said that this is where the first one is, that is where debt is actually making you have adverse events in your mental health. Now, what about mental health making you be in debt? Now, so that's what we say, impact of mental health on debt. Some people have also ended up in debt because of their mental health status. And so somebody with a mental health status that is not appropriately managed, that is not treated, may end up being an impulse buyer. So if you are that person, you have never seen a psychiatrist, you have never seen any doctor, you haven't ever been evaluated for mental health, diseases or anything, but you see that you cannot stop anything you see, you are impulsively buying, you are impulsively purchasing and doing all such things that you come back and you're like, why did I even buy this? Maybe there's something going on there in your mental health. It may be depression, it may be anxiety, it may be PTSD, but definitely you are buying out of impulse because you are using that to treat your mental health disease that is untreated. So that is one. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, this is huge.
That's
So like if you go out there and you buy something, then you get home and you're like, why did I even buy this? You question yourself, why? I don't need this. I have almost three of the same kind already at home. Then, but something will make you want it again, or spend money on something that you don't need at all. Then you have to reevaluate
your
that
mental health.
mental health, that maybe something is going on.
Something is not right. Now, the other thing is a mental health may also make you avoid responsibilities. So because of an untreated mental health condition, you may not be responsible for your debt. So your debt, you continue to incur debt, right? Just because of a mental health condition, you are unable to basically stick to what your responsibilities are. So avoidance of good behavior due to a mental health condition. I know.
No, so like somebody may not even have mental health, but they just want to avoid responsibilities.
It's true.
Yeah, they just don't want to be responsible. They have debts, they have payment to make and all that. They just want to pretend that there is nothing out there, and they just manage their things anyhow. They get paid, they want to spend the money, forgetting that they have to pay their rent and all that. Then you can see that there is something off. You don't want to avoid your responsibilities. If you keep avoiding responsibilities, then you have to check yourself.
Yes. Now,
Something may be
the
happening.
thing with the mental health link is that there's something we call avoidance behavior. So if you have depression, that is an underlying depression or anxiety or any of those mental health challenges, there is a way that some people may avoid dealing with their financial issues because of the underlying condition. They avoid dealing or facing the debt that they have. So it is real. No, I'm not saying we're not going to use this show to diagnose you and say that because of that you have mental health problem. But we are saying that if you cannot control your expense, you know that there's something. You always say you don't need it, but right now if you go to your closet, it is full of everything under the earth. and yet you wear only a few. And yet when you go to the shop today, you will buy. There may be an underlying mental health condition that needs to be treated, because if you cannot, be responsible for certain things, then of course there is something that is causing that. And again, avoidance behavior, it's a trait from mental health disease, especially in depression. So people basically avoid dealing with their finances. So that means that their debt is continuing to increase, and yet they avoid sitting down to treat the issue, to deal with the debt, So that is avoiding the responsibility, avoiding, what they have to do to overcome debt, intentionally or non-intentionally. But Gifty said, you don't have to have mental health disease to do that, which I agree. Some people out of sheer irresponsibility. But we'll give you that. We want to say that you are not that irresponsible. So if that thing is going on, then of course, thank goodness. All right. So the next one then is, how are we going to manage this? So we are still on the impact of mental health on debt, right? Inability to manage finances may be another sign of mental health challenge. If you've tried, but then again, it's not just that you are avoiding, but you can't come to grasp with making, like the list that we made last week, debt roll up or debt avalanche or debt consolidation. You can't bring yourself to do that. You are unable to manage your finances. You are always fighting with your husband or fighting with your wife. There's no way you can sit down and do that. That may be a sign of mental health problem leading to debt. Yes, that is possible. It is possible. So it's not clear cut. But if you know yourself that, hey, I have tried, I can't sit myself down to do it. Maybe there is something underlying that is going on. So that is what we say. So impact of mental health on debt. So that can make you continue to be in debt. The last thing that we're going to talk about is, having known all this, what are some of the benefits of seeking professional help? We need to seek professional help, because without professional help, some of these things can continue to go on, and we can be in trouble. In fact, worse trouble. So the first thing is to seek financial counseling. If you are going through any debt issues, some of the things we said in our last video, you have tried it before, it didn't work out. You've actually gone through debt consolidation, and you are back to square one. You are still owing a lot. You've probably done other things. The debt roll-up method, you've tried it. It didn't work out. You tried the avalanche method. It didn't work out. You tried everything under the sun. It's still not working out. This is the time for you to see a financial counselor, somebody that will be able professionally to help you overcome your debt. The other one that we want to talk about is also to seek mental health. Most people have underlying mental health issues, but there seems to be some kind of a taboo around mental health, stigma around it. And so people don't want to admit that they are in depression. But if you watch this carefully and you listen to some of the things we said, you can tell if there's something going on. Having mental health disease doesn't make you any less human than anybody is. If somebody has the flu, it doesn't make them any less human. If somebody has Alzheimer's, it doesn't make them any less human. Disease is disease. And so make sure that you are evaluated for your mental health status, just to see what you can benefit. Because this is nothing like spiritual or anything. There are medications that you can take that will improve your outlook on life, make you feel joy, make you feel happy, make you love your life, make you be, overcome depression and all those anxiety that you go through all the time. And all it takes is to start by seeing someone with a mental health profession. You can talk to your own doctor. They can refer you to a psychiatrist or psychologist, depending on where they think you'll fit. And you can have a very good mental health evaluation and medications if necessary, and your life can turn around. You can overcome debt that way. So that is one thing that I want to add.
And also I'll add that a lot of marriages are in trouble because of financial problems and financial issues. So if you feel like your husband spent too much money or your wife is spending too much of your money, sometimes it can break up a marriage
My goodness.
if you are not able to manage your finances well. A lot of issue I keep hearing that most of marriages are breaking apart because of a lack of financial education, or one party will understand that one party is more like a saver and the other is a spender. Between you and I, who is the spender and who is the saver? I'm not sure.
Well, that's for
So-
another show.
So, if you feel like you are having problems, like we are saying, you can find a financial advisor, somebody that can counsel you, bring you to a point that there is understanding and you are able to manage your debts and manage your finances. If you feel like one party need help mentally, there is help out there. We can all seek help together, and together we can get over debt and be financially independent and
Financially
free.
independent. My goodness, my goodness. This is, I'm telling you, this is a show that I actually enjoy. And we want to say that if you watched it all the way to the end, thank you. Make sure you share it to other people, because this may be a life saving knowledge for somebody. Because we hear people commit suicide because of debt, but they don't know why. And we don't know why. People around don't know why. So share this. Don't let somebody, go through something alone and end up in a very dire situation. So we're going to end here today. And from the Hortense, we say, Beloved, we wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you, and thanks
Thank you
for watching.
for watching.